Hey guys, how's it going? It's Ollie here from CryptoVest.com. It is the 3rd of December today, and we're going to be looking at Bitcoin trading against the US dollar over 4-hour candles. Looking at the asset in the short term, you can see that we have 3 clear trend lines that the asset's been kind of sticking to in the last 12 days. We have a very strong downtrending resistance, which was established on around the 22nd of November, and from there we failed to break above it on 3 separate occasions, with the last one being yesterday. We have a middle trend level, which has been both a strong support and resistance for BTC, particularly once we'd fallen through and we'd established this double bottom around the 3,750 sats mark. You can see there was a strong resistance here once the asset tried to recover back into this sort of upper range. Once it did hit this double bottom though, as you can imagine, obviously it broke very bullish from there. We were able to retrace way back up, test the downtrending resistance level, and then we came back down, and very recently we've started to establish a $4,000 support. We've kind of lifted off this middle section, and as you can see, every time we've reached this sort of 4,000 sats mark, there's been a great deal of uncertainty, or at least you can see that in the candles, from where the closing and opening prices are very, very similar over 4-hour candles. Obviously, where bulls and bears have sort of both not been willing to gamble which way it's going to go. There's not been a clear trend in either direction, and so we've got this kind of sideways motion forming, and obviously from there we hit the $4,000 mark. Bulls then decided to uptrend, and then we've just sort of whittled ourselves back down again. We've got these kind of rickshawman dojis again on the $4,000 level, but now more interesting, we're looking at this kind of descending triangle pattern forming. So we've got this, we're consistently making lower highs, and we're consolidating now against this new base support of $4,000. So this is the kind of shape we're looking at right now. And from here, what we'd expect, we'd either expect bulls to then rally again, hit this downtrending level, make a lower high, and then come back down to the $4,000 mark. And we could expect this to consolidate until eventually the base support finally sort of fails. Alternatively, you could expect bulls to struggle to hold up this line today, and maybe bears might be able to overcome it. And from there, we probably wouldn't see support along this middle section. It wasn't a very good support on the 24th of November, so we'll probably fall through this, and sort of as an early support, we may expect this sort of $3,750 mark to give us our first sort of area of support, as it did on the 25th of November. Failing that, we could probably fall down, and we may actually end up on this very dangerous but very critical $3,600 level. And basically, if we look at one-day candles, you can see why this would be important. In fact, actually, we'll go back to 4 hours quickly and just have a little look at the RSI and the MACD indicator, just to give you further support of this theory of this descending triangle pattern. You can see that we've got decreasing momentum on the RSI. We're now below the middle of the channel and sort of starting to veer off towards the oversold region. And on the MACD indicator as well, you can see we've had a bearish divergence between the 12 and 26 MA. We've got big selling candles on the histogram, and this 12 MA is now well below the signal line. So looking pretty bearish on these indicators. But yeah, let's check out the one-day chart and see the thing that's going on here. So we just have to zoom this all out for a second. Just press all in. Cool. Okay, so just to make sort of heads and tails of this, we've kind of got this new sort of support and resistance channel to take a look at. And for those of you that are looking at the TAs that I used to do with Bitcoin sort of over the last few months, you'll know that the $6,800 mark was the resistance I kept saying was the one that Bitcoin needed to break above before we got bullish for the asset. And then we had the $6,000 mark and the $5,800 mark below were the sort of key support regions. And if we fell below those, then we should start to panic. And now, sort of to bring it up to date, we've got a new key resistance above at $4,400, and I've marked the areas back in the past where this was a key resistance for Bitcoin. You can see on October 2nd it was a strong resistance. Going back as far as September and even into August of last year, it was a key resistance. So this will be the key level for Bitcoin to break above before we get excited about a bullish reversal. And then obviously we've got the $3,600 mark support, which is our first major support for Bitcoin. And as you can see, back on this 22nd of September and a brief moment on the 22nd of August, this level was a very strong support for the asset. And so it seems that if Bitcoin breaks below $3,600, that's the point at which we should start to worry about the the doom and gloom $3,000 level. And a lot of people have been saying, will Bitcoin go to 3K? Is this possible? It's possible if we break through the $3,600 support. I think, at least in the short term, this level should provide us with a very strong support region for bulls to launch an offensive and sort of reclaim some of the losses we've endured in the last couple of weeks. I know things are looking pretty bearish in the short term, but hopefully, one of the few supports we mentioned before might pick it up before we hit this level. But like I said, if we break through here, which, look at the RSI, you can see that we have re-entered the index channel, although the increased amount of selling pressure we've had recently has started to push the asset back towards the oversold region. And on the MACD indicator, it's a lagging indicator, and it's saying, it's kind of conflicting. It's saying it's actually slightly bullish. We've got a convergence here with a small buying candle in the histogram, but it wouldn't take much. And I think if the asset does break through that descending triangle pattern we looked at on the 4-hour candles, I think that would then be enough to flip the 12 MA below the 26 MA again, and we'd have a bearish divergence on here. So it looks like we're going to crash down. If we do break $3,600 mark, then that's when we'll start to worry about hitting this $3,000 mark. And the $3,000 mark will be a very crucial psychological support level for the asset going forward. And ideally, we wouldn't want to hit that too early. I've kind of highlighted this blue box here. I think I'm colorblind, but this sort of area here. And basically, it's between the start of January and the end of March. And so this is sort of Q1 in a box, basically. And as you can see, there's some really, really promising things coming out in Q1 that should really generate some bullish sentiment. You've got the Back Futures platform is actually launching on the 24th. NASDAQ has come out and said it's partnering with VanEck to bring out the Bitcoin 2.0 futures product. We've got Fidelity's digital platform, asset platform, is launching in Q1. And also VanEck's and SolidX Bitcoin ETF should be decided by the Securities and Exchange Commission on the 27th of February. So we could potentially have a Bitcoin ETF by February. So this is a key area, this is a key sort of time period for the crypto market in general, but particularly Bitcoin. And if we do break through the $3,600 mark early, then we could really find ourselves at $3,000. And then if we do hit that, then we may have to look at lower supports. But then once we start to enter this time frame, we should expect to see some bullish support start to emerge. We even may get some in the run-up to Q1 as people start preparing for, preempting the bull runs. So looking bearish in the short term, $3,600 mark is the target, in my opinion, to keep an eye at. If we do fall from there, then we can start looking at $3,000. If we break above $4,400, then we can start thinking bullish. But until then, we're just going to have to kind of weather the storm until we hit this Q1 period. And then from there, we can only hope that all this good news will start to generate a market reversal. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this asset in general. Let me know if you are bullish or bearish for Bitcoin. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you think we'll end this year. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Please check out the full TA at cryptovest.com, and please, please, please like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.